Hi, Jeff Nicole here with ScanSource, and joining me here today to talk about some solutions for working from home today, which I know is relevant to just about everybody nowadays, is John Brookbank, who's the VP of America's Distribution at Cisco. So John, welcome today.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you for the opportunity.
No, happy to have you. Considering what's going on around us here today, I think about 90% of the people out there these days are working from home or teleworking and doing something. So very relevant topic, as we all know today. So John, I know just about everybody's heard of Cisco, but just tell us a little bit more about kind of your role there, the company, and then obviously what's relevant today, the solutions that Cisco is providing to help people work from home.
Sure. Thank you again for the opportunity. So I think everybody knows Cisco. So obviously we are the worldwide leader in IT, networking, and security solutions. We're a software technology company really today with a big focus on continuing to drive our hardware, but integrating software into the platform. And I think, as you know, our portfolio really expands the entire network from the edge to the core into the cloud. And, talk about some of our core products, core route switch, our data center, collaboration. Of course, collaboration and security right now are so prevalent with what's going on with COVID-19, but wireless mobility infrastructure, and of course, analytics, and again, everything focused around hardware and software. We're a global organization. We serve customers across the world. We have multiple business segments: commercial, public sector, enterprise, service provider. And I think the uniqueness about us is why we have about 17,000 sales folks. We have over 60,000 plus partners. And when you talk about that force multiplier effect, that's 300,000 plus sellers out there every day through our partner channel and through our distributors, helping us provide these solutions for our customers. So my role, Jeff, as you know, is I'm Vice President of America's Distribution. I've been in the role now about 16 months, leading the Americas, which is US, Canada, as well as LATAM. It's about a $7 billion total business. Thank you again to ScanSource and your commitment. You guys have been doing amazing work, and I know we'll talk about some of that as we get through the conversation here today. So you asked me, what are some of the resources that we're offering to help our customers stay connected? And well, first, I would say our number one priority has been to help our customers and our partners around the world keep their teams, themselves, and their families safe. So we at Cisco, as you know, we do a lot of work virtually, but we have implemented a work from home policy to really limit our employees' exposure. But I think it's been crucial to do this with really, without compromising, I would say, the ability to remain connected, productive, and most importantly, to work securely. And a couple things we've done is we provided free offerings in cloud-based services across WebEx and some of our security solutions. And if you really think about it, we have billions of people around the world that rely on Cisco, our technologies, our partners, our distributors, and our people. And so we've also done a lot to work, and you can read some of this on our websites, to help our customers focus on business continuity. And what are some of the things that we can do to help them around providing solutions, technology tips? Some of those obviously were focused around the secure remote worker. We've obviously added programs around free WebEx, remote network access, also the secure remote work around VPN and cloud security. We've done a lot of work around collaboration. We've done some quick setup guides for our contact center. I can tell you we've had some amazing stories out there through some of our partners and customers where they've turned up a contact center in literally a couple days. We've also done substantial work with Meraki. You'll be able to see that Meraki's doing first year on us free, a free 1-year license with any 3+ year license commitments. So trying to provide that flexibility. There's a lot of focus right now on healthcare. We've got rapid response network bundles. Again, Meraki's offering the first year license with their portfolios around healthcare. And also we talked a little bit about WebEx. So we have been offering WebEx free to our customers for now. And I think that's been extremely well received across the world, not only in the business environment, but I know that folks are also using it, most importantly, to stay connected with friends and family. And then the other big area, Jeff, that we've really helped our customers focus on is around secure education. As we know, we've got so many kids that have been disrupted And we want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to help those communities with secure online classrooms, again, the free WebEx trials, and also the focus we've done with Meraki. And what I'd also say I'm very proud to say is that, Cisco has done a lot to work with our distributors and our partners around extended terms, creative financing, to make sure that we can provide those in need that flexibility to continue to run their business. So those are some of the things that we've done that I'm very proud of here at Cisco. And again, thank you for all the support that you and your team at ScanSource have done to continue to roll those out and help our customers each and every day.
I appreciate that. We're trying to do the same thing for our partners, John, during these tough times. And I'm glad you mentioned security, because I think there's a lot of things that are very obvious when it comes to working remotely and working from home, whether it's web cameras and access to things like WebEx, or, I'm fortunate to have a nice Cisco EX90, which I've had for years. It's just one of those things that will not die, and I hope it never does, because I love it. But you mentioned security, a couple of times there, so I really appreciate that, because I do think that's one of the things that tends to get overlooked, is now that everybody was so quickly forced to work from home, a lot of people just kind of plug things in to enable them to see each other and have this face-to-face experience. However, got to keep in mind the security elements, and you mentioned it a couple of times, whether it's through WebEx or through Meraki or some of the other solutions that Cisco has to offer. Anything else you'd add to that?
No, I think security is critical, right? And you can kind of read what's going on in the world. There's a lot of really good, simple platforms out there, but I'd say that remote workers have to be very careful. One thing we're very proud of is we're encrypted end to end. I won't go too deep into it, but we're very proud of that, and we think that our platform stands on its own. And I would tell you that if you look at WebEx, very secure, and if you look at the amount of use that we're providing that right now to our customers is absolutely amazing. And we're going to continue to do all we can to support them, to keep them connected, again, not only from business perspective, but from family and friends and loved ones. That's
great. So anything different, John, that maybe you guys have done to empower your own employees to work from home?
Yeah, it's a great question, So I've been in this role now like 16, 17 months, as I said earlier, and a lot of my team actually has worked in a remote environment. But as you know, we travel frequently. I was probably on the road 90% of the time. And so now working virtually, I'm used to it, but I think you'd agree, this is different. We're kind of all very isolated and we're very distant. I can't go get on an airplane. Cisco doesn't allow me to travel. And again, the number one priority that I've given to my team, all of my associates in America's Distribution, is first and foremost to focus on themselves and their family. That's the number one priority. But again, I think, being isolated, working from home, where you don't have that option to really go in the office. So it does affect everybody. So when we first started to see this, number one, we wanted to make sure that everybody was prepared. We want to make sure they had the tools necessary to be able to operate in a virtual environment. And that's one thing that I always encourage all of our customers is make sure that you're giving the necessary tools for your people to be productive. The other thing that we've done, I've empowered my team. I've empowered them, and I'll give you a couple tips that I've, given them on working virtually. But most importantly, I've empowered them to do what they need to do, and making sure they know that we have a whole team behind them to help if they need anything. So if somebody's got to take a 3 or 4 hour break because they have a young child at home that they need to do the school lesson with, go take the break. And we're allowing them to do that. So I think flexibility is critical. We provided some tips to our teams on, one, making sure you schedule your day. And also the one thing I would tell you, Jeff, that I find in times like this is you've got to be careful because people can really work nonstop 12, 14, 16 hours a day. So I kind of tell my team, don't bring it home. Don't take it to the family. Make sure you're managing your time. You're taking those breaks. A couple other things that, we're encouraging folks is to walk away, take a walk. I did this, right before my forecast call, before having the opportunity to spend this time with you. I went and took my dog on a walk for 30 minutes just to kind of break up because I'm not in the office anymore. And I just kind of sometimes get myself tied up in just day to day. The other thing is, hey, I tell people when I get up in the morning, I actually get dressed up for work, right? When I work into a virtual environment, I actually get myself mentally prepared. The other thing that we find is that, a lot of people who work virtually sometimes get upset with others, and they lose their patience when the dog barks or they get interrupted or they have to sit at a kitchen table. So we all don't have necessarily nice video units, like yourself, or sometimes people don't even have a camera on WebEx. So I'm telling my team, be patient with others' work environments, right? And be respectful. If the dog starts barking, I tell you, my dog's sitting right next to me here in my office, that's okay. So we're really telling people to have that flexibility, and we're empowering them. The other thing that we've done is that we've really encouraged our teams to use this time to strengthen themselves. As you know, we've made a lot of investments, not only in our people, but we're making investments in your team. And I'll tell you a little bit about something that's going to be coming your way in a few weeks. But take the time to really strengthen yourself and work on the things that you want to do to get better. And then last but not least, we do weekly check-ins with the team. I do Coffee Talk Tuesdays, where I just get on the phone with the entire Americas organization, and some of the folks from Globals join us as well. And we just have coffee together on Tuesday morning. And I'd probably say the most fun is on Friday afternoons, we do America's Distribution Happy Hours. We've had some guest speakers come to those events, some of our Cisco executives, but it just really allows people to connect, and we have some fun with it. Sometimes we'll play some games. Like last week we did, guess who this leader is. We took baby pictures and tried to kind of figure out who was who. But it gives people to really talk about, what's going on in their business. Some are having more struggles with it, and they just want to see that face-to-face interaction. But really, I think we've empowered our people to do what they need to do, but first and foremost, to make sure they take care of their friends and family and themselves.
That's great. I appreciate that, John. It's much more than just technology these days, and you made some great points in terms of just dealing with the pressure and the change and the stress that goes with, working from home and not be able to see your coworkers, to see your friends, to see your family. So I really appreciate, those thoughts and insights around staying connected. And then I think we're trying to do a lot of the same things here at ScanSource. Beyond any of that, anything else that you've learned through this pandemic around COVID-19, and, anything that you're doing to put some of those insights to work going forward?
Yeah. I've always been a steward of leadership, and I've always learned from some really strong leaders, and I'm proud to work for Cisco. And I think it starts at the top. And, leadership really matters, and it's not where you fall on an org chart. But I think now more than ever, us as leaders, and we're all leaders in this, we all really have to stay focused. And I'm honored to work again for Cisco, and it starts with our leader, Chuck Robbins, who's laid out a plan and has consistent communications with our teams every single week. And as you can also see, he's done a lot to really do things around the community. But I think now this is really telling us that we all really have to lead. We have to trust our teams. We have to have compassion. We also, as leaders, have to have stability, because we're the ones these teams are coming to, and we've got to maintain that hope, because we will get through this. It's going to come in time. I do think we're all going to work a little bit different. I think it's going to be big changes to how we go to market, how we interact. But I think right now, more than anything, what I've learned from COVID-19 is leadership really matters. And we've got to make sure that we all step up and we help each other through this.
That's great. So when we jumped on a little bit ago before, folks were watching this, you and I were talking about, some of the challenges that we have, whether it's, internet access and whatnot. The device is great, but we still have to have that connectivity. But that being said, and I just mentioned my EX90, and it doesn't have to be a Cisco device, but what would be the one device you couldn't live without right now?
Right now, I couldn't live without this. I couldn't live without this iPhone. So I'll tell you, right in the middle of COVID-19, I went through a move and a downsizing and moving into a condominium, my wife and I. And literally 16 hours before the move, we got notified from Verizon they wouldn't come onto our premise. They wouldn't come into the condo. So we do not have any Verizon Fios service. We have no TV other than a little digital antenna that's connected and sticking out the window. And then again, we don't have any internet service. So I'm literally using the phone as a hotspot. I've also got another little mobile device. We're making it work. Thankfully enough, the family is healthy. But I would tell you, if I didn't have that iPhone right now, I don't really know what I could do, because it really is my connection back into the world, not only with my family, but with all of you, the customers, our partners, all of the distributors around the Americas. That's the only way that I can connect right now. So I tell you, if I didn't have that, it'd be quite a challenge.
I bet. I would imagine that if we asked 10 people that question, we'd probably get 9 out of 10 people probably saying the same thing, whatever that personal device is. And I'm sorry that you haven't been able to watch probably some of the cool shows that are on Netflix these days and some of the other things out there, but you'll have time to catch up. Anything else that you would add, John, about, kind of working remotely that we haven't already covered?
Yeah, I think, if I kind of sum it up, first and foremost, I would encourage all of the folks on this call to communicate with your people, communicate with them constantly. And just as simple, when you open a call, how are you doing? Right. And I'm trying to reach out. I'm asking my team to do that as well. Reach out, give people some grace. Their personal contact really matters. Have some fun, as I said before, we're doing that. And use it as the opportunity to, as I mentioned, to invest in yourself. And, one of the things that we're going to do is, we've done some training for your teams before on presentation skills through a company called Tom McCarthy and Fire Up. We're going to be offering some virtual meeting training for about 10 to 12 year sales associates as well, coming soon in the next few weeks. All done virtually, but again, we want to continue to invest in you and really help you through this and help your people become more productive. But I just, Jeff, want to say thank you. Thank you to all of ScanSource for what you've done so far in COVID-19. It's been absolutely amazing. You guys pivoted in a matter of a few hours to go into a virtual work environment, and you have not missed a beat. And I understand also from a warehousing perspective, you're probably putting some people, in some challenging situations, and I can't thank them enough for their countless efforts and all their hard work to help us all get through this. And just know that Cisco is here with you as your partner, and we'll do everything we can to make sure that your team stay healthy and safe.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate everything you guys do as well, and appreciate the offer to help with some of that training. Couldn't agree with you any more than all the things that you pointed out today. So, John, thanks again. Really appreciate it. It's great to see you face to face. You and I have known each other for a little bit and look forward to seeing you in person here, hopefully very soon. So thank you. Stay safe, stay healthy, you and your family as well as everybody else out there. Appreciate the time.
Thank you. Take care.